Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I know it is dark. I'm in the garage. Got some orders to make. It's Monday. Hope everyone's having a great, well, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Let's see. What do we want to talk about today as I am waiting for the machine to heat up and just making some stuff? Oh, yesterday, or actually, was it yesterday? I know Trump announced that he was making a big announcement today, and that announcement happened. And shocker, oh, not shocker, everyone was speculating that the big announcement today was going to be, in DC, he's going to federalize or deploy the National Guard. And I mean, he just finished, well, I think it's still going on right now. I watched enough of it. And shocker, he did basically do that. He declared national state of emergency in DC, and I totally called this. Did I call this? No, I don't know. If you guys watched my video that I did about the attack on the Doge employee, the big balls guy, and I guess some people were other people were questioning it too. I wasn't the only one, but I don't know. I thought that whole thing was staged. Um, it just seemed very odd because if you go find the video, it's somewhere in my channel, but the basic idea is that it just seemed the whole big balls attack thing seemed very odd. Just the picture that was released. You must have seen the picture by now. It's the one where he's like the big balls guy, the Doge guy. He's on the floor. He's got white pants, shirts off, blood smeared all over, right? And I didn't, uh, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh man, that looks terrible, right? I didn't think much of that big balls Doge employee attack until I read the article, and it said that another Doge employee took the picture, and I was like, whoa, 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 there. Once I saw that, I had a feeling, a gut feeling, that whole thing was staged. I mean, this is just my theory. It could not be. We'll see, because they did arrest two people, so we'll see how far that goes. But it just seemed very odd. I know it could, or maybe, okay, I got it. The attack could have happened, but they played it up big time because of that picture that got released. It looked bad, but at the same time, it looked so staged. Like, if you actually go back and look at the picture, right? He had blood all over, and they said he had a broken nose, which could explain all the blood, right? But it doesn't explain, I guess, why would you take your shirt off in that moment? Because from what I could tell, he was wearing a dark shirt, like a black. It was like a black and gray stripy shirt, and you're not gonna be able to see all the carnage when he's wearing that shirt. So they had him take off the shirt, and then he's wearing white pants. Who's wearing white pants? I just remember my girlfriend, or she's my wife now, buying me white pants, and I would only wear white pants with my girl around, because wearing white pants when you're just going around about doesn't it's just the wrong message to send. I know he was with his girl. I'm just saying, white pants. Um, so you could see the damage more. It's just, I don't know. And then literally, as that was going on, it occurred to me that I was like, they're really playing up this story about the Doge guy getting attacked. And I was like, it seems like they're setting up for some sort of like takeover, right? And then the next day, Trump, announces that, oh, this is so bad. The Doge guy got attacked. Something needs to get done, and this play area needs to get federalized. I'm like, oh, it's all connected. It's all connected. Okay, and then there's that roof thing, and the excuse me, the roof thing. That when he was on the roof, and then there was the the ballroom, and then I was like, oh, this is where I guess a lot of the media people aren't connecting the dots. They're just saying whatever, right? But they're not connecting the dots. This is what I'm thinking what's going on. Okay, so this is all going on after Trump went abroad and kind of had like a trip out, right? Going to Saudi Arabia, going to all these other countries, seeing what their areas look like, right? And it kind of reminds me of like the Hunger Games, where if you remember Hunger Games, they like start off in some kind of like they all start off in like the shanty like district or whatever town, little district thingy that they start off, and then you get chosen to go to the capital, and the capital looks super nice, right? There's there's housing, there's food, there's like it's just like high life living, right? And then you go back to your little like shanty town after you win or whatever, right? You're like a gajillionaire in their world, and but then you have to go back to your little shanty town. Isn't that what Katniss did? She had to go back to her little like area, but she was like a gajillionaire now. And then you see like you're thinking about it, you're like, oh man, this is what life could be, and this is where I live now. And so I think about how like Trump just finished a big trip abroad, and then in other places, right? Oh, it kind of reminds me also of like what's his name? I show Speed when he went to China, and there was that brief moment online where I guess a lot of people haven't been. I've been to China, so I know what it looks like. Uh, I guess, but a lot of other people haven't been over there, or at least haven't seen, um, like more real world first account pictures or footage of what it looks like, and it looks like crazy modern, super cool. And then you come back and you're like, ugh, like encampments and graffiti on the wall and whatnot. It looks like, like another, looks like a crazy town when you come back. So I'm thinking about uh, the federalization, right? He just announced it that's what's going on. Pam Bondi or whoever is going to be taking over the the DC military or police, And then I'm thinking about like in like oh, easy example like North Korea, right? North Korea, if you're outside of like the designated tourist zones, it looks, well, at least this is what I'm imagining, and this is what the media portrays it as, right? A like wasteland, right? Like how the media portrays North Korea outside of the tourist zones, it reminds me of like if you play Fallout, if you're going around, it'll look like that, right? And where are we going with this? Oh yeah. Okay. If you think about the other countries, when you go over there to their capital, right? It looks nice. It's like Trump recently went to like Saudi Arabia, and then if you go to any of these countries, their capital is like immaculate, because that's what when you come, that's where your impression, right? And then but over here, when you come over like those other like because he's been having lots of meetings with world leaders, and when they come over here, they're like, what is going on here? You gotta clean up. And this is where I'm saying this is related to the ballroom thing. I feel like Trump is planning a major party, right? And like a big get together with the world leaders and whatnot, drink champagne, eat caviar, whatever, right? And that's why he's on the roof. This is my thoughts. He was on the roof, kind of seeing what can you see from the like around the White House, because he's building the ballroom, right? And sorry, I gotta make sure this order is correct. Okay, he's building the ballroom, and the ballroom is not for us. It's not for you and me, right? The ballroom's not for you and me. It's for hosting big parties for like world leaders and whatnot. So this is my theory. Trump was on the roof surveying what slum he called it, like literally in this, he's like the slums. He's seeing what can you see from the roof. Basically, what can you see when you're at the White House, at least in the surrounding area. So he's like, oh, that over there, that over there. You know, like this is a theory. And then he's gonna basically beautify. Oh my God, beautify the area. So when people come visit, it looks nice. You know, you gotta think like how he does. He runs in the world of billionaires and high class, right? They care a lot about image. You know, like how perception, you know, stuff like that. So I am pretty sure this is a big push for, I guess, a big party because okay, think about this, right? He's building the big ballroom. It's like what, 200 million, right? You don't build a big ballroom and not use it, right? So most likely the it's all related. This whole like push to kind of like federalize the police here, basically expedite the cleanup. Because here's the thing, he could do it the other way and you know have the cleanup be done. It would just take a long time. It would take longer than federalizing it and just you're like full on get out there and clean up the area, right? It'll just take so much longer. So I'm feeling that's why he wants to speed this up. You gotta have the big party once the ballroom is done. Who I gotta look up what when is this ballroom projected to be done though? Is it within his term? I forget. That's the next thing I need to look up. When is the ballroom supposed to be done? Or at least how fast are they working on this thing? Because the ballroom and the cleanup and the whole roof thing is all together. Right? Think about it. He's a builder, right? And that's seems pretty logical. You go on the roof and you kind of survey. And you're like, oh, look at that. There's a big like F Trump graffiti thing on the wall way over there. Can you guys clean that up? Clean that up, guys. You know. So I'm pretty sure that's what that's all about. I don't know. What do you guys think about the whole cleanup thing? Oh, the other thing that I find very interesting though is I saw a bunch of reports saying that crime is actually down in DC. But then today, Trump came out with his own numbers and said, like, no, crime is going up. Those numbers are fake. And then, this is where I'm going with this. I'm like, but then now, if all the numbers are fake, who who do you who do you trust? I don't know. It seems very odd. Very odd. It seems like we're heading towards like Hunger Games style. Like, just imagine it makes sense, right? Like he's building the ballroom. He's gonna beautify the DC area for like other world leaders to come. And then Pam Bondi was talking about like how like families come and visit, and it should look nice, right? It's the capital, and it just feels like the same feeling that I'm getting when I think about like people from the Hunger Games when they get to visit the capital or whatever the district area is called, where it looks all nice and people where all the rich people live, right? And you're like, whoa, this is what it could be. While we living in our slums. What else happened? Oh, the other thing that I find very interesting. I guess this is has been going on, and but they're making it more of a normal thing. And I find this part of the story I find also very odd. Is that they have been using FBI agents, I guess, to patrol um the DC streets. uh, I don't know. I I just thought that's very odd. Oh, sorry, phone call.